Hi, everyone. Welcome to Heart Centered Tarot. As always, my name is Marina, and I will be your guide for this portion of the journey. And welcome to Taco Tuesdays with my amazing co-host, David from Tarot by the Bay.
Oh, me.
Yeah, you.
I'm back.
Yes, you are. This is fantastic. And I see you've got by your name, you've got Tarot by the Bay and Tarot of the Seven Seas. Do tell.
Arr. It's my all pirate all the time channel. Right around, I think 2 weeks ago, I was talking with Marina that I was getting kind of an itch that I might start a international channel, tarot channel, but not focused on U.S. readings, not focused on outside the U.S. And I put some stuff up on my community page. It was just basically trying to find out, are there any tarot channels that kind of focus on the EU? And I know that Lena and Libby and Marianne occasionally dabble in the EU, but it seems that most tarot readers focus on the United States. Yeah. I can imagine why. We're the biggest dumpster fire going on the planet right now. But I thought it was kind of an unmet need. So I'm dabbling with that. So I started Tarot of the Seven Seas just before the end of 2023 and have a few videos up there. And I'm learning post-production stuff. Like I have captions now on my videos for those. I'm trying to figure out how to upload the caption file. Because what I want people to do is, like, if you're watching this, if you're watching in Ireland or England, you're fine. But if you're in Italy or Germany, when they run the captions, can they hear my reading in Italian or German? Certainly by having my English captions on there, a lot of folks in the EU can read English, and it helps with the understanding of it. But so, like, I had more spare time, but I'm creating more time, trying to branch out and see what's going on out there. So that's it. Tarot of the Seven Seas. I agonized over the name. That was the one I decided on.
No, that's perfect. It is, because it's international. Why not? It covers everything, covers a lot of people. So no, I think that is a very, very good name.
And if I decide I've got even more time, maybe I'll start Tarot Mundo and focus on Mexico and Central America and South America.
I like that. I would reserve that if I were you.
I wonder if I can. Yeah, I wonder if I can get the guy that does the the soccer goal cards just to do a cameo for me. Tarot Mundo.
Exactly. Yeah. Bienvenido. Here we are, all of us together. Yeah. No, I think that would be fabulous. Yeah. Yeah. So we do have 2535 Apple says, a shame Epstein's list appears to be delayed. Well, we'll take a look at that.
I thought it got released. Did it not get released?
No, it was supposed to be released. Whoops. Sorry. Wrong one. Where are we here? Anne G says, yeah, I work for a company in the Netherlands, and most people in Europe speak and understand English. Yeah, to some extent, yes, that is true. It is.
And that wouldn't have to be Novo Nordisk, would it? I'll wait for your comments to pop up. Get all those expats up here.
Yes, absolutely. So just quickly want to say hello to some of the folks that are in here. Book Bewitched, hello, Book. Linda H. Sherry, hello. Voices from the Swamp. We've got Louise Vogt, Jenny W., Al Castillo, 2535, Becky Stone, Laura Hammond Davis, hello. Teresa Baltazar, BJ's Esoteric Musings, hello BJ. Sunflower Down Under, Rose Blue, Jeannie Kavanaugh, I hope I don't miss anyone. Cora. Schenectady. I hope I said that right. I hope I didn't butcher it. Let's see. Angie. Celtic Seer. Hello, Celtic Seer. Alicia Bell. Debbie Joyce. Water Lily. Carrie G. Celtic Seer. Christina Brooks. Oh my gosh. Linda Ramsey. Look at all of you. Corey. Christine Brooks. Catherine Rodier. So thank you. Thank you all for spending part of your evening with us. And I'm glad you're here. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe on both channels. We're simulcasting to both channels. So, do the little thumbs up thing on the video, and then after the video's over, come on back, leave an emoji, leave a thumbs up, leave whatever, right? A comment, whatnot. It really helps with the algorithm, and like David always says, you know what? It gets the channel out to more viewers, and there are people out there who are seeking what it is that we're offering. They just don't know where to find us. They just don't. Who are they going to look up? They're going to Google what in order to get to us. So make it easy for them. Do the thumbs up. There we go. Let me see. All righty. So now David has already read on some of the things that we're going to be discussing. Hey, Kevin. Yeah. But you know what? We'll take a look again. It never hurts to take a look.
Of course.
Yeah. So let's start off with Trump. I mean, why not? He is the gift that keeps on giving.
By the way, Marina and I do talk for a bit before we start the show, which is sometimes why we start late. Did you see the Trump Christmas card that went out?
No.
Cash Peters just put a video out on that. He was doing handwriting analysis on Melania Trump. And she's not in the Christmas card. And her name, the way where it says Melania Trump on the card, it looks like Donald Trump wrote it because the handwriting is identical. So she may not be in the picture. She may not have signed the card. But when I've looked up Melania's signature on the webs, on stuff that she has signed, good Lord, they have the same freaking handwriting. And if you've ever seen Donald Trump's handwriting, you know how unique it is. They are the same freaking person. They are the same damn person. Yeah. The only difference is Melania's parents probably hugged her once or twice in her lifetime.
Yes.
And she's an introvert as opposed to an extrovert. But other than that, oh God, they're perfect for each other.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I suspect that one of the things that she did, because I can tell you as someone who spent a couple of years in the education system in Europe, printing and writing is something that they really drill into you. So you can generally recognize someone's handwriting as being from a foreign country because there is kind of a uniformity to it. Mm-hmm. So I am pretty sure that her signature originally was a lot different than it is now. And I think that, she did that on purpose. And she wouldn't have done it if she didn't kind of go along with what he's doing. So, yeah, don't think of her as being a victim. She ain't no victim.
Yeah. Hey, Johnny snuck in here too. Hey, Johnny.
Hey, Johnny, how are you? Nice to see you here.
Yeah, all sorts of things. Okay, so what we're going to read on? We're going to reading on Trump. We're going to.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. So what I thought we would read on is Trump wants the Maine court to overturn his removal from the ballot.
Okay.
And I wanted to know how that's going to work out, because he has already come out and said that the Secretary of State, Sheena Bellows, she's biased. She's very, very biased, according to him.
Mean, nasty woman.
Yeah, mean, nasty woman. Exactly. So I thought we'd take a look and let's see what the cards have to say about how is that going to turn out for him. Is it going to get him anywhere, or is this just more of screaming, yelling, or
Is this to
whatever?
do we know if this is the main Supreme Court or is this going to the I'll just ask on courts.
Yeah,
All right, so
yeah.
let's see.
I
Trump,
don't think that it's said specifically, but yeah, go ahead.
okay. Trump challenging the main ruling, kicking him off the ballot. What's the energy around that? It's the drunken hillbilly brawl. More of the same with Donald Trump, just cause commotion, cause chaos, cause a lot of energy, throw a lot of energy on this one, muddy the waters. It's just, Trump being Trump. I think he's getting worried, though, that if more states start doing this, that this could be the end of his campaign. Now, mind you, coming back up, it doesn't really matter like if he's booted off of California. For Trump, it doesn't matter if he's booted off California or New York or places like that. Blue states he was never going to win because all the electoral votes go to the winner. In this case, would be a Democrat. Maine's a little bit different because they split their electoral votes. So he could have won an electoral vote in Maine. Like if they have three, two might go to the Democrat, one might go to Trump. So there's actually some electoral consequences with this. Not to mention, if you kick them off the ballot, the people coming out to vote for Trump are MAGA, and they only vote for Trump. So they're not going to likely make the journey out to the ballot box if Trump's not on the ballot, and we'll touch on that when we go with the write-in readings. In the past, Ace of Pentacles, okay, more fundraising. It's unfair what they're doing to me. It's a witch hunt. Give me $45 to help fight the cause. Nine of Pentacles in the current situation. He's looking out for his well-being. He's gonna try and portray her as being corrupt and bought out by the Democrats. I would be surprised if he's not already implying that she's taken bribes or that there's money supporting her in her decision. She's not doing it in the best interest of the folks of Maine. So he's going to want the courts to rule in his favor. He's going to want investigations into her. Again, there's just going to be a lot of chaos around there. The lesson to be learned is the hard work, the apprentice card, which is, of course, with Trump. I think in the end of the day, what's really happening is there's a real pushback on values with everything he did on the on January 6th and with the insurrection. It's starting to come back to him in ways that he's never had to experience before. It's accountability. He's finally starting to be held accountable for the stuff that he's done. We got the Hangman here. I'm going to guess, looking at this and planning going forward, I think the courts are going to uphold the ruling on that. I'm going to think they're going to say it was her right. She had to make that ruling. It was her call to make. The courts are going to support it. They'll look into it, but if they can't find that there were shenanigans, well, we have an unprecedented event here where you're going to be off the ballot. Too bad, so sad. And of course, this is going to have to go to the Supreme Court at some point in life because it's going to, whether they listen to it or not. I mean, ultimately, I think the Supreme Court's just going to say states' rights. States can do what they want. Maybe they'll provide some guidelines for the states to work with. But in my previous readings, the gut feeling I have is they try to find some way to keep Trump on the ballot. Like if the Supreme Court could stay all these state cases and say, no, this requires a in-depth analysis by the Supreme Court and we're going to stay everything. And in 2025, we will discuss standards with which you can keep somebody off the ballot. That's what I keep getting, but I don't know how they would do that. Over to you.
I think you're right. And uh, yes, for those of you that have just come in, thank you for being here. And I need to share this. I like Pegasus' comment. Happy Blue Year. Yes, Happy Blue Year. Absolutely. Keep that in mind. And just remember, you got to do your part. You got to vote, vote, vote. Even if Biden looks like he is going to be, back in the White House by 100 million, billion, gajillion votes, you got to get out there and vote. So, anyway, yeah, I start off with the tower. This is not going to work out very well for him. There's if it really, really, really isn't. Too many people are aware of the agreements and things that he done in place. And this is it's amazing with the female on the lover's card. Yeah, she's very angelic, and yet what he is trying to portray her as is the nasty woman. She's biased. She doesn't want to give him a fair chance. What this is going to do is he just might need to take a little bit of time with the hermit and reflect, which is unusual for him. He's never had to do that in the past. No one has ever, like you say, called him to task on anything that he's done. So for him to have to sit back and go, well, what do you mean I can't have my way? I'll hold my breath until I turn blue.
Consequences? What are you talking about? Accountability? That's for other people.
That's complicit. Isn't that a perfume my daughter put out? Like, no. And Six of Wands, he very much wants this. He wants to have this victory. But I agree with you when it comes to like Libby sees this card, like you said, as kind of the look at me card. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what it is draw attention to me. I'm the victim. Everybody is against me. I really need everyone's support. It's not going to work out very well. There are things in place that people are putting with the Three of Pentacles. There are agreements that are being done behind the scenes because really and truly, let's face it, most Republicans do not want him there. They don't. They're not saying a lot, or they're kind of following the rule book, but really and truly, if they were to be honest, they would tell you they don't want him on the ticket. So,
yeah, it's that thing that they've talked about in Congress. If they had a secret vote where you wouldn't, nobody know how you voted, the votes would be very different.
Absolutely,
people are scared of them.
Yeah.
Did you? I was watching something on YouTube with an interview with Adam Kinzinger, and he talks about Trump's unique aroma of like sweat and poop and ketchup and makeup or something along those lines. But the other funny part was he was saying how the Republicans for years marketed themselves as the self-reliant party that picked themselves up by the bootstraps, tough it out, and now they're the biggest bunch of whiners and victims that he's ever seen, and he was absolutely revolted by it.
Yes. Yeah, I don't blame him. And that's exactly what it is they're very, very much, they're victimized by everyone and everybody. And people are getting tired of it. It's just enough is enough. Enough is enough. And you know what? Let's just stay with Trump for a little while longer, because the other thing that he had in front of the court was he wanted to delay the E. Jean Carroll trial, which is scheduled for January 16. Yay! It's a Tuesday. Oh, and it's a Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday, so we'll have something to talk about.
Yeah, you know what we'll be talking about. So yeah, he tried to go in and say that he needed to have it deferred for a while because presidential immunity and all. Well, that didn't work. So now he's saying, well, he needs to defer it because he needs a little more time to consider all his options. You don't have any options.
Which checkbook you're going to write the check from? Which bank you're going to put the escrow money into?
Yes, exactly. So, um, I think that, um, yeah, this is the federal appeals court has said no, we're right on track.
Yep.
So, what what's his next thing? What's he going to do next? Alicia Bell says Michael Cohen has been calling Trump Donald von Schützen's.
Oh God. See, and that's the thing. You notice when you comment about Trump wearing adult diapers and being incontinent, he doesn't threaten lawsuits.
Yes.
Because if he threatens a lawsuit, you go to discovery. And you'll find out in discovery that he wears adult diapers, case is tossed out, and everybody now knows. So he has to just. So are we going to throw on what's his next move on that one?
Yeah. Okay, what's his next move going to look like when it comes to E. Jean Carroll?
E. Jean Carroll in the civil trial. That'll be a four-carter. Okay. Well, he's planning on it. I think he let's see. He might have another move planned on. It's Knight of Wands. So there is some action here. Oh no. I won't have any. If you find me $10 million, I'll be broke. Let's see. We got the 5 of coins, the 9 of wands, the judgment card. He is going to try and get it delayed because he's got too many court cases he's dealing with. And, I want to be there for this one. I need to be there for this one, but I've got all these other court cases. I've got campaigning to do, and I've got this, this Jack Smith one, all these different court cases. It's about him losing his money. Okay, so what do we really got going on here? I think he's got too much. Honestly, I don't know if he has anything left for this case. He kind of has to sort of pick and choose how he's going forward. He's got so much going on that, even though he's fighting the E. Jean Carroll case, his attention's focused on the next case, which is the January 6th, because that's the one starting on March 4th. And he's putting a lot of his effort into trying to delay and fight off the January 6th insurrection case that Jack Smith has. The E. Jean Carroll case has some concern because he doesn't want to lose the money, but the money's already lost. So, because the judgment's already been made.
Exactly.
So what am I seeing here? So I think he's kind of actually focused on the next one. Basically, with the E. Jean Carroll case, he's just going through the motions. He's just throwing stuff out there to see what will stick, so he could kick it down the road. But I think they've signaled enough that they're not gonna. The presidential immunity was his best bet. He's wondering. It's like, well, I have to worry about my finances, or I have to worry about stuff. They're ignoring him.
Yeah. No, I think it's funny because these cards are kind of telling me more about E. Jean Carroll. I've got the 8 of Pentacles. She's coming into some more money.
Oh yeah.
And Page of Wands, she's going to be very cautious about how she invests that money. She's doing her due diligence, right? She's looking at, with the Queen of Wands, very kind of lucrative investments. She's being very creative in what she's going to do. I think in this card, I can also see a little bit of, maybe Trump trying to be creative, trying to come up with a reason why it can't go on. And I think you're probably right. It's like, well, with all the other cases that are consuming so much of my time, this really requires me to, look at my options and make sure that I'm defending myself adequately against this. And with all the other stuff that I'm dealing with, because I'm a low down, nasty human being, I just need a little more time.
I think, I'm sorry, come on.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
The other way I could translate that reading of mine with the Knight of Wands, I really do think he's trying to settle with her. So like that Five of Pentacles would be a way to cut the settlement down, because you know he's trying to, with the, especially with the New York case. Oh, that's what that is. Remember that Knight of Wands? He's looking off at the case. He's worried about Judge Engeron and the civil
Oh,
trial, because E. Jean Carroll's $5 or $10 million. Mind you, $5-10 million is going to be like a pebble in that guy's shoe. Every time he walks around,
yes.
he's going to be howling about how much it hurts. But you've got that other case. You're talking hundreds of millions of dollars
Yes.
potentially. I think he would want to settle this one. He doesn't get that she's not doing this for the money. She's doing it for the principle of the matter. And when you're seeing your Page of Wands and your Queen of Wands, I really also think that she's going to take that money and she is going to try and use it for victims of rape and stuff like that, for young women or something like that.
Yes.
In that area, to help them with crisis centers or something along those lines, to try and turn
Something that will
this negative
really,
into a positive.
really get under his skin.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think you're absolutely right. And yeah, I end with the Page of Pentacles. I also have look. I also have the Page of Swords in here as well. So there's a lot of kind of low level stuff going on, and yeah, all of them to some extent have to do with finances.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, she's going to get a little more money. But you know what? I think you probably have a point in that at this point, it's easier for him to settle with her than take the chance on what the court is going to do, knowing full well that he doesn't have any favors coming to him from the court.
Mm-mm. They're just going to humiliate him. So why go through that public humiliation, which is exactly what she wants. And he doesn't get that. He just, why would you humiliate me? Because that's worth $5 million.
Exactly. Yeah. Because I can, darling. Because I can. Oh, very good.
She is such a boss.
Yeah. And I've got someone was commenting earlier about how American politics are Steve Watts, who's actually Mickey Watts. Yeah, commenting about how American politics are so much more involved than Australian politics. You know what? That's because you guys in Australia, you're a little more intelligent than a lot of the people that are. So, every country has the government that they deserve. So consider yourself lucky that you don't have. But yeah, Trump is going to keep on giving and giving and giving for years and years and years.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And absolutely rose blue. And he did it all to himself.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. We've got a looming government shutdown that is coming, one January 19th and one on February 2nd. So I know that there's Chuck Schumer has said that, yeah, they're talking behind the scenes. They're trying to work on things and so on. Yes, they certainly are. However, they're also dealing with people across the aisle who have ducked their heels and have said no.
Yeah.
No, under no circumstances, no. And I think that this time they might have to, the GOP might have to stop and think before they say no. Because let's face it, we are starting an election year. Mm-hmm. Do you want to be the guy? Mm-hmm. Do you want to be the guy that they can point to and say, no? Yeah, we're the ones that shut the government down. So, yeah, how's it going to go?
Okay.
What's the feeling around? Um,
Government shutdowns in the budget. How are they? How is this going to pan out?
yeah,
Yeah, this is the one that we keep kicking the can down the road. I don't think that Mike Johnson's going to have the opportunity to kick the can any further down the road. I believe the Freedom Caucus are really going to dig their heels in on this one because it's kind of like they cut him some slack when he pulled a Kevin McCarthy and kicked it down the road for 45 days. But that pretty much was the end of the honeymoon period. The Freedom Caucus has no problem shutting down the government. Matter of fact, that's kind of their whole jam is to show that we don't need the government. Let's just burn it all down. And
yeah.
well, conservative Republicans are like, not in an election year when we can be blamed. So it's political survival versus fanaticism. Okay, so
Yeah.
how's the budget and government shutdown? How are these looking here? Okay, so they're working on the budget. That's a really great card to start off with. 8 of coins. So Congress is actually going to be working on the budget. They're actually going to try and get some stuff hammered out. Again, this could be one of those things the Senate's already twice has said, let's just do a continuation of what we've done before. Just sign it and be done with it. And we don't have the drama. So what's the drama? Knight of Wands. It's just trying to push forward different folks pushing forward their agendas on this one. But I do think the budget's making progress. Underneath it, though, this is not the exciting card for me, is the Moon card. But we don't know how it's all going to work out. Because even though progress is being made on the budget, you've got the loony factor between the MAGAs, the Freedom Caucus, the Republicans only having a 2-vote majority or like a 1-vote majority in the House now. Yeah. It's, they underneath it, again, I would not doubt for a second that the Freedom Caucus wants the government to shut down to cause mayhem.
Yeah.
But that might force bipartisanship between conservatives and Democrats. In the past, we've got the World card. The end of the year is come and gone. We still don't have a budget. And this budget was supposed to have been approved, in October.
Yeah.
Basically what this is saying, telling me, is we've run out of time. This is it. This is this is going to be the battle here for it. Oh God. Okay, so current situation, Freedom Caucus wants to end entitlements, or what they refer to as entitlements. And they want to cut spending, and they want to cut all social programs. And when I say entitlements, I'm talking about welfare and Social Security, stuff we've all paid into. They are not entitlements, but the Republicans call them that to try and trigger their base. So this could be a card of compromise. You're going to have to offer the Freedom Caucus something to get them on board with this. It may not have to be much, but you've got to offer them something like, lots of funding for the border wall or something along those lines. And Biden's even said he's willing to talk about the border wall stuff. You've got 2 different budgets. You've got Ukraine and Israeli funding. There's a lot of money that's on the table here. There's going to be fighting with it and debates. This is actually a really positive card so far because it's fighting off the challenges, but fighting from a position of advantage. I think as long as the Senate Republicans put pressure on the House Republicans, there's a real fighting chance that we get through this and we don't have a government shutdown. The energy, the overarching energy, or the lesson we learned is the Page of Wands. I think there's going to be compromise. This could be a new journey, and I don't think shutting down the government is going to be a new journey. It could be. But between the 7 of Wands, the fighting off the challenges and trying to put out a new message with the Knight of Wands, we have a lot of action going on here. They're not going to sit on their hands. They're going to be trying to move forward with this. Look at that. Outcome, 10 of Cups. Honestly, I don't know what the Moon card is that's going to cause this. If they can resolve the chaos agents, we could very well get a budget. Now, one last thing, this Page of Wands, this could be the start of bipartisanship. We need to walk a different path than what we've been doing before. A little bit of compromise never hurt anybody. So, and America benefits from a Congress that can compromise and get stuff done. I do suspect that the Democrats are going to have to swallow some pills that they don't like, but I don't think we're going to have a government shutdown. At least not the way the spread's looking right now.
Yeah, I think so. I think that the GOP is finally starting to realize that this is something that they can no longer dig their heels in. They could do it 2 years ago when they had 2 years, of fighting for against an administration and so on. We're getting close to the wire. So now is not the time that you want to be the one to stand up and say, no, I'm all for this. I start, with the Six of Wands. They have drawn a lot of attention to themselves in terms of what they have done in the past. And the things that they have said that they support versus what they actually support. The Ten of Pentacles, they are looking at ways that that this shutdown benefits them. And the things that they are saying that they are against, the majority of their constituents fall under those categories, of needing a helping hand, needing this, needing that. So like you say, what they call entitlements, their constituents benefit by those entitlements. So, do you want to upset the apple cart? I think I think that they are starting to review and say, okay, guys, it might be time to make some changes. I get the Four of Swords. So they're not going to be too vocal in terms of what they can offer. I think that they might even temper a little bit in terms of what they are going to be accusing Biden of, because Biden knows where Jimmy Hoffa is as well, I'm sure. They're just waiting to find out, right? All the information is on Hunter's laptop. So I think they're going to be a little more silent because they realize with the Eight of Swords, this is a situation of their own making. This is something that they could very easily have solved in the past. They didn't. They've kicked the can down the road. Well, now it's time to pay the bill, right? The waitress is there with their little machine. She wants payment, and they're worried about how they're going to do that.
By the way, that is a wholly Canadian thing she just shared with you. Oh. If you've never been to Canada, when you order food at a restaurant, the server will come to you with basically a cash machine with like a little tape roll on it, and you can insert your card and do the tip and stuff like that, and it'll print it out right in front of you. They don't take the card back and then duplicate your card while you're waiting for your bill to come in. They bring it right to the table.
Yes, yeah. I did not realize that was a Canadian thing, but yes, that's we're so used to taking our debit cards and just on top of the machine, and that's it. We're done. So anyway, I think that they are going to have to give up some things. They are going to have to negotiate, if for no other reason than to at least kind of show their people's constituents that, well, no, we're working on this. We're doing this for you. Yeah. No, they're really truly looking after themselves.
Yeah.
So. Oh, Gina says, we have those devices in California too, and in Florida. Woo.
Most of the time, though, the restaurants I've been to in California, most of the time they take your card back to the like the waiter station or something like that to run it.
Yeah.
But when in Canada, like when I visited my friends in Ontario, it's always coming out. I remember the first time I saw it, it's like, oh, this is interesting. The other thing was within Canada was movie theaters, and you buy your tickets and your popcorn at the same time.
Yeah.
American theaters, you buy the tickets first to get in, and then you buy your popcorn and stuff, and then you walk to the theater. So it's just, there's neat subtle differences between the countries here.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. And we can, there are several theaters that you can actually order a meal, including alcohol, and it
Mm,
will be delivered to your seat when you're seated, because of course you don't buy just a ticket, you buy a seat in the theater, so you know exactly where you are, they know exactly where you are,
yeah.
and they bring you your things, and they're recliners, so you can, you know, really sit back and enjoy it. It's an experience. It's an experience. Okay, there was something else that I was thinking that popped into my head as we were reading on that. And now it's gone. So clearly, hopefully, it will come back. In the meantime, the um, George Santos, his the election or whatever it is for his seat, I think, is happening. Is it January 13th or February? Anyway. So here's the deal, and I had one of
February.
my people. February. Okay. I had one of my people who sent me this information, and I'll be honest with you, I read it last night just as I was dozing off to sleep, and I think I put it in a very very safe place on my phone, so safe that I can't find it. So I had to go and kind of look up the information, but I wanted to, when I find it, I will give you the credit for this. So here's the people that are running for George Santos' seat. The Republicans really, really want to hold on to that. So what they have done is they have appointed or put up a Democrat, a registered Democrat since 2012, as one of the people that is going to be campaigning for that seat. And it reminds me of, tails I win, heads you lose. Like it's just, yes. Um, Tom Scuzzi is a Democrat, which they don't want a Democrat in there, so they're putting up their own. Her name is Maisie Phillip, and she's actually, from what I gather, an Ethiopian refugee. Not that there's anything wrong with that. She was able to escape and come to the U.S. when she was 12 years old. Good for her. She has always she has been a registered Democrat, like I said, since 2012, and possibly even before then. She has earned a degree in occupational therapy and diplomacy, and she's also studied in Israel. She is very much a proponent and a voice for Israel. Um, Very staunch supporter. So I'd like to know how is this going to work out? How is this going to go? Where um, you've put up a Democrat as a Republican because she appears to have a lot of the same viewpoints that you do. Well, if that was the case, she would be a Republican. She wouldn't be a Democrat. So, how is this going to work out with the GOP? Is she actually going to get any traction, or are people just done and they're willing to vote for Swoozy, whatever his name is?
Okay.
Yeah,
Suozi.
Swoozy.
Suozi would probably be the Italian for that one. Okay, let's see. Miss Phillip. Okay, how is this Jewish Ethiopian woman who is a MAGA supporter? How is she going
Yeah.
to fare in the elections? Heartbreak, betrayal.
Ooh.
Yeah, she's not. Yeah, Got the Wheel of Fortune. Ooh, look at that victory underneath there. Um, she would be the type of person that if she ran, she would, and she won, she would switch parties.
Yeah.
Got the Wheel of Fortune in the World card. World card. This would be her. She comes from another part of the planet. Outside the U.S. Excuse me, part of the planet. Just the World card could be a foreign country. So we've got a foreign country. Wheel of Fortune is, I think the Republicans are taking a chance with her. She's a black woman. She's Jewish. And I think that they think she's got a good chance of winning. But again, I think she's the type of person that the minute the Democrat, I put a link in the chat. The Democrat campaign arm basically said if she's elected, she's going to support MAGA, and I suspect she would. It's between the Three of Swords and the Death card underneath. I don't think she really has a chance on here. The energy is like, no, this campaign's not going anywhere. You're going to be a betrayal to the group. Yeah, it would have been great to vote for you, but this is more the look at me card. She's kind of, they're taking a close look at her, and they're looking at what she's done. And now I don't. It's possible, it's possible. If she does get elected, she's switching parties. She will switch parties in a second, and the people in that district will have been screwed over twice. Actually, maybe that's what that really is that the Three of Swords is the George Santos card. They feel like they were lied and betrayed. The victory card would be putting Santos in there, and now you've got the death card. Yeah, no, they're not going to trust the Republicans in there. If they had just nominated a normal Republican, they would have had a decent shot at it. But they're going with this person. They're not even, the Republicans aren't even nominating a Republican. You're not going to get a big turnout. What I think that's what will happen is you're going to get a small turnout. You're going to get a lot of Democrats who are very motivated to vote, and not as many Republicans. It's going to be a landslide. It's going to be a crushing landslide for Mr. Suozzi.
Yeah, I think so. I start off with the Five of Wands. Yeah,
the Drunken Hillbilly Brawl card. Those are some.
Those
don't look like hillbillies. Those look like Klansmen. Yours.
And they're. Hey guys, I got us a great idea. Here's what we're gonna do.
Let's try this one.
No, that's not gonna work. And I'm not making fun of anyone from the South, just so you know. I do it out of the goodness of my heart. But yeah. All right. They are trying to find different ways to do what they have done in the past, which is, kind of see things from a different perspective, change their mind, whatnot. And yes, I think this is absolutely the card that if she does get in, she's going to change her mind. And she's going to say, well, I've recently discovered that I'm really a Republican at heart, and blah, blah. And no, the King of Swords kind of tells me that she is, not she is, that the people around her, that the people who are ultimately going to be making the decision are saying, no, once bitten, twice shy. We've been down this road before. So, with Susie, we understand what we're getting. He was in that position before. We understand the kind of, devil that he might be. But she has no real public experience, no real experience in public affairs. So I don't think that is going to work out well for her. And ultimately, it's a Four of Swords. Just, you just sit down. Don't say anything. Just.
Man, I'm glad you said that, not me. I get crucified for saying that.
No. Yeah.
Just rest your pretty little head over there.
That's exactly. Yeah. I think that's. It's not going to work out well for them. Like, people are too, especially it's too soon. They have just seen what someone could do in there. Yeah, they're not doing this again. No.
This is a playbook that the Republicans have done before, where they've run a candidate as a Democrat, or a Democrat's run, and then they change party affiliation once they get in there. And it's almost like they're kind of going to the well again for this one, but it's like an obvious. It's so obvious that the Democrats are looking for it, so they're sounding the warning alarms on this one, so they're not going to be able to sneak this one in.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, hold on. Someone had asked, and yes, I think this is a good thing to look into. We touched on it in the very beginning, the Epstein list, which was supposed to come out January 1st. Mm-hmm. Well, it's January 2nd, and I know that there was a good bit of people who were, anxiously waiting for it to come out. So I have, I kind of have my own feeling on it, but let's take a look. What's the energy around that? Will we get to see that list, or is there something going on behind the scenes?
Okay. All right. Epstein's list. Okay, let's see what we got with Epstein's list here.
Yeah.
Am I upside down? I'm upside down. Okay. Page of Pentacles. To me, these are the does. These are the John Does coming in here, offering up their money for services on the flight. And how much money? So much money. So many people on this. There's so much money in this. And there's going to be disappointment with it. It's going to get released, and people are going to be really disappointed with who they see on this list. You got your Donald Trumps, who you would expect to be on there, but there's going to be some British people that are going to be really disappointed to see Prince Andrew's name on there. There's going to be Democrats really disappointed to see Bill Clinton's name on there.
Yeah.
And for a lot of these folks, just because you took a ride on the plane doesn't necessarily mean that you took advantage of what happened on the plane. But let's be realistic here. Especially as time went on, these guys knew what was happening.
Yeah.
And it's why, if I'm not mistaken, this is why Melinda Gates divorced Bill Gates, because he promised her he was not going to go on that plane, and she found out he went on it. So she said, "You're gone. You're 86. Goodbye." And I don't blame her. At least that woman's got some integrity. Bill Gates has some explaining to do.
Yeah.
Okay. In the past, Page of Wands. Okay, so you got these guys looking for fun and adventure in exotic places like Epstein's Island on here. Oh, but here comes here comes the compromise. Yeah. Here comes the flipping. Here comes the but we kind of caught you on rolling the waves on the Epstein Island here, and you're going to be paying a lot of money now to keep that information on the down low. Folks are going to try and keep. There's going to be continued efforts to fight this, to keep this from coming out, because it's going to be really embarrassing. And I don't think we're going to see all the names. We will never see all the names. I'm sure like Bill Barr's dad and other people got scrubbed off that list here.
Yeah.
But if you were caught on that plane, your career is toast, because even if you don't necessarily get fired from Congress or get imprisoned or anything like that, people are going to now know who you are and what you're up to, and polite society is not going to tolerate it. There's going to be a lot of lying. There's going to be a lot of people saying, "Oh, I didn't know," or "I only did it one time," or I was really nice to these girls. Yeah. But in the end of the day, if your name's on that list, it's just easier to say, yeah, you knew what you were doing when you got on there. You can't play dumb.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Okay, yeah, I start off with the star. This is yeah, you're gonna see things, know things that you may not necessarily um, want to see and want to know, but there it is. Okay, um, there are people that are very much fighting as we speak to make sure that their names are not released, or that they're at least redacted, or some way that they can kind of pull themselves out of it. Mm-mm. The Six of Cups, they were there to have a good time, and don't. I mean, I fully understand that sometimes it's entirely possible you're invited for a trip. It's supposed to be a fundraiser, whatnot. The minute that you land and the minute that you see what's going on, in order for you not to be involved, you say, check, please. And you get on the plane and you just return home. You do not participate in that. If you do, if you stay, then you can't say, well, I didn't know. Because, you know, you, you got to know, right? And nothing against the boys, but what's the first thing that you do after you've been with someone and it doesn't mean anything? You go up to the boys and you go, hey, guess what? Right? So yeah, I think that they realized they were getting in bed with the devil. They knew exactly what they were doing. Um, I think, yeah, like you said, we're going to be surprised at some of the people who are on the list. Other people, we're going to go, yeah, I kind of had a feeling. Um, so yeah, they're in the process of making the decision. And I think for some of them, I think the decision that they're looking at now, particularly with the Fool, is okay. Do I wait until my name is out there on that list and it's announced, or do I say, hey, I'm on that list, and maybe try the let me explain what happened and whatnot. But yeah, I think there are a lot of people who are going to be spending a lot of money to make sure that their name doesn't get out.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of sending good money after bad, right? Because ultimately it's going to come out, and it should come out. The things that happened on that island were very, very damaging to a lot of people. And if you were part of that, you need to be held accountable. You need to answer for it. So,
Yeah, I suspect that if the girls at that time speak out, just believe them.
yes,
They don't. They're the real victims here, and
yes,
um, I would say way more times they'll have it right and accurate than wrong.
yeah,
I don't trust. I wouldn't trust any man, any person on that flight. I imagine there could be women too, but it just seems like it's a creepy old man thing. Old
yeah,
white dudes who wear who wear glasses and have white hair, creeping
yeah,
on little girls.
yeah.
Jesus.
So,
Stupid white
yeah,
males do it. They
I
do
think
all
that,
the fucked up stuff.
yeah, and I think a lot of the female victims have already identified,
Okay.
right? They have come out, they have spoken out, they have, particularly with the Ghislaine Maxwell trial, when they came out and said, no, I was there, I saw what happened.
You're right.
So they may not be such a shock to us. What happened to them was absolutely disgusting, and there is no way to look at it other than this is absolutely horrible. And you want to play with the big boys, you want to soar with the eagles, well, okay, Time to pay
And
the piper.
when you had that devil card came up, it was reminded that there was a lot of video recordings and stuff, a lot of blackmail, because that's kind of how you keep everybody in the boys club
Yes,
from like, you hey, don't lie, we've got video on you. Hey, don't tell on me, I won't tell on you, and here's how we ensure that nobody's telling on anybody, because we've got blackmail on everyone. It's just creepy.
exactly. Yeah.
Just crazy.
And like I said, if this was something that you fell into inadvertently and you honestly can genuinely say I had no idea what was going on, you'd know pretty quick within landing when you see all these underage girls there. And come on, you got to ask someone, you got to know what's going on. If you didn't immediately get on that flight and say, no, take me home, I'm not having any part of this, it doesn't matter to me that you were there, you were talked into it. You're you always
You,
have the ability to say no and
yeah,
walk away.
anybody who's been on that plane has put themselves in a bad position. Their only hope, their only saving grace, is if that they try and deny it, and then there's no girl there to counter it. Or if any of the girls could say, yeah, he never actually did anything, he was actually nice, he wasn't a creeper.
Yeah,
Again, those people are going to be so few and far in between,
absolutely.
that it's, sorry. I'm I'm going to go with, if there are 100 guys on there, 98 of them are guilty, 2 of them are innocent, and if the
Yeah,
2 innocent ones get labeled with the guilty, well, you need to do better next time. Sorry if it's a career ending for you, but
yeah.
man,
Next time, make better choices.
yeah.
Right. Absolutely, make better choices. Well, we are at 1 hour 1 minute. I think another great show in the can.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely enjoy this. There, as I said earlier, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and do all the YouTubey things, as David would say. And don't forget to go over and on his channel, check out Tarot by the Bay, and then check out Tarot of the Seven Seas. Give it a subscribe. Why not?
Exactly.
What have you got to lose? You'll learn something about another part of the world, and that's always a good thing, right?
And
So
for like some of the readings I've done, the Queen of Denmark abdicated the throne on her upcoming birthday or something like that. It'll be 52
yes,
years that she took over the country. Or talking about BRICS, which is an alternate currency that Brazil, Russia, and China and India are putting together. So it's stuff that you might hear about on the periphery of American news, but like when I go for the stories, I'm going to the
yeah,
BBC to try and find stories
yes,
outside the US that might be of interest.
exactly. And there's a lot of things happening, yeah, around the world that we're part of it. We need to know. So thank you to all of you that have spent the evening with us. Oh, hi, Beck. Beck just came in just as we're saying goodbye. So thank you again for being here. David, thank you as always. It was lovely. It was great. And I'm going to go check out your new channel.
Yay!
Yay! We'll
Another
see you
view.
on there. All righty. So you guys take care, and we will see you in 2 weeks' time on January 16th.
We'll see
Right
if we
after.
have a budget passed in the US on that day.
Yeah. We'll see. Take care,
All
everyone.
right, take care,
Bye-bye.
everyone.